Hello, thank you for coming to my presentation. My name is Mimi Sepik, and our paper is Using Architectural Assessment to Evaluate User Experience in a Pre- and Post-Move Study of an Office Environment. Myself and my co-authors, Dr. Terry Peters and Jennifer MacArthur, are from Ryerson University in Toronto, Canada. Our paper reports on challenges encountered using the architectural assessment method as part of a pre- and post-occupancy assessment of an office environment. In our paper, we share experiences of collecting and interpreting the architectural assessment data. Our study aims to lead to a greater understanding of the influence of environmental design on worker productivity and building performance. Post-occupancy evaluations, known as POEs, address the various performance gaps between a design's intentions and the actual experience people have in these buildings and/or in the building's performance and use. POEs are not typically published, making it difficult to develop a guide or framework for future studies. So our paper identifies challenges and notes the benefits of collecting different kinds of data to inform future studies. The study gathered data about occupant comfort and uses of workspaces in 2 locations occupied by an office before and after they moved. The architectural assessment included structured walkthroughs and use of the observational methods to understand occupant comfort and varied uses of the office spaces, as well as comparative assessments of the pre- and post-move environments. The data collected in evidence of adaptive comfort behaviors as such listed below, and there was a focus on qualitative findings that could not easily be captured through data collected from sensors, surveys, or other methods. In our paper, we explain the results, which are presented as listed. The architectural assessment provided valuable insight on how the occupants use their office environments. The pre-move observations. The office is in an urban setting, occupying 1 floor of a multi-story office building. So our study, both pre- and post-move, focus on the interior environment. We observed most employees sit together with their colleagues in 1 of 8 departments. Each department has a long shared desk for collaborative work. There are 2 kitchenettes and a small lobby space with communal seating near the entry. The office color scheme used mainly neutral colors with white desks, gray carpet, and light gray walls. Collaborative desks were limited within the department and were often used as storage. The private areas were restricted to 4 meeting rooms with a couple of smaller spaces for discussions between 2 to 3 people. This office had a total of 157 desks and a total area of 1,660 meters squared. Generally, it was well used, but it seemed that employees needed more space. Some areas were very cluttered. Post-move observations. The office was also in an urban setting, very close to the first office location, occupying 3 floors of a multi-story office building. As with the first office, the new office had an open plan and had large windows around the perimeter with manually operable blinds. An LED circadian lighting system had been installed around the desk areas. This new lighting system varies the color spectrum, the spectrum of color temperature and intensity to follow a specific light curve, adapting the quality of light based on the time of day as well as the local conditions. This means the color temperature changes throughout the course of the day, bluer in the morning, and it becomes warmer in the afternoon. The office had new lighting, new desks, new color schemes, as well as a much larger area. The new office had a total of 314 desks, which is double the previous office, and a total area of 4,560 meters squared, which was evenly distributed between the 3 floors. In our paper, we make several comparisons between the office environments, and we connect these observations to productivity and well-being. Our comparisons include office layouts and individual desk personalization. The furniture changed from the old office to the new. Previously, the individual workstations were all white with solid pinup space behind the 2 monitors, standard desks, and stationary storage below. The new office workstations had black and white color combinations with tinted pinup space that created more visual connections between the aisles. We observed that about 41% of the desks in the old office were personalized, with an increase to 53% of personalized desks in the new one. Personalization included displayed photos, flags, extra office accessories, etc. Now, for each department, there was a dedicated common desk facing onto the corridor, providing a visual buffer for the desks. Each department had a shared table for layout of drawings and informal meetings. It was observed in the architectural assessment that people were using these collaborative tables well, and they seemed to be needed. Also, many people in the departments were using the new sit-stand desks, and this leads to a more adaptable and potentially more comfortable work experience. There was an increase in the number of plants on individual desks, going from 19 in the old office to 65 in the new. While we developed an architectural assessment that could be adapted to both office conditions, it was still challenging to compare the spaces. The offices went from one open plan to 3 stacked plans. The new office was much larger and the departments were no longer grouped, rather they were integrated amongst each other. Collaborative spaces and lounge spaces were significantly increased, as well as more diverse, catering to different types of shared work and discussions. To conclude, the architectural assessment showed us how different employees use their personal spaces and engage in collaborative work in the given office environments. Challenges in comparing the office environments were largely due to the size differences between the old and the new office layouts, and changes in view from desks and department layouts. Interior design characteristics such as lights, artificial lighting, color, and furnishing, all of which the studies show impact worker productivity and well-being. The study found that while this data is important to collect and relatively straightforward to interpret, it is still quite difficult to compare. Thank you for listening to my presentation today. For a more full discussion on our study, you can read our paper in the PLIA proceedings.